Welcome to Longevity Logistics. Look, if you're tuning into this explainer, you probably already have a solid handle on what visceral fat is. And let's be totally honest, you definitely know how bad it is for your health. I mean, that information is absolutely everywhere, right? But we are completely skipping the doom and gloom today. We aren't here to just point fingers at the problem and panic. Instead, we're going to focus entirely on an incredibly positive solution. Seriously, I have some exceptionally good news for your body's complex operating system.
We're shifting our entire mindset right here, right now, because, it's so easy to get bogged down in all the negative health statistics surrounding deep body fat. But today brings such a refreshing perspective for optimizing your body's systems. When we actually step back and look at how the body operates, we discover a hidden advantage. A massive one. We just need to understand the underlying mechanics of how our internal inventory is managed.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, System Inventory, the two warehouses.
To really grasp how to clear out this fat, we actually need to change how we visualize our bodies. I want you to imagine your body as this sleek, highly efficient logistics command center. And inside this command center, there are two very distinct, highly specialized storage facilities for your inventory. First up, we have subcutaneous fat. That's the pinchable belly fat right under your skin. Think of this as your long-term cold storage. It is a massive, highly stable, completely non-inflammatory vault designed for really slow-moving inventory. Your body guards this vault like Fort Knox. It's kind of a hoarder that just refuses to let energy go. But second, we have visceral fat. This is tucked deep inside the city center, wrapping directly around your internal organs, your liver, pancreas, intestines. Logistically, this isn't cold storage at all. It is a high-turnover active depot. Honestly, it's more like a rogue warehouse. It's hyperactive. And here's the real danger. When this active depot overfills, it literally starts leaking inflammatory smoke and raw fuel right into your system. It is a highly volatile storage facility.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, the System Routing Protocol.
So what exactly happens when the red lights start flashing in the command center? When your body experiences a sudden energy pull, like when it desperately needs fuel, it doesn't just grab energy at random. Not at all. It follows a brilliant, strict, step-by-step routing protocol. Step 1 is immediate demand. Your body first clears the highway, rapidly burning right through the circulating blood glucose and triglycerides currently in your system. It's just sweeping the fuel right off the road. Next comes Step 2, short-term demand. And this is key. The body goes straight to the visceral warehouse. It completely bypasses cold storage. Because of its high-speed delivery access, this dangerous internal depot is the very next thing to be opened. It's only in Step 3, sustained demand, after insulin drops and the visceral inventory is rapidly moving, that the body finally begins the slow, arduous, heavily resisted process of unlocking that difficult, subcutaneous cold storage vault.
And that brings us to a massive paradigm shift. When it comes to mobilization, visceral fat is actually first in, first out. We're constantly told that visceral fat is stubborn, right? That it's first in, last out when it comes to storing it, because it just builds up so easily. But when you flip the switch to mobilize energy, when you're actually clearing it out, your body genuinely wants to clear this dangerous fat out first.
Now there is a genius anatomical reason for this hyperactive routing. Meet the portal vein. That rogue visceral warehouse isn't just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. It's plumbed directly into the portal vein. Think of this as a dedicated, high-speed expressway running straight to your body's central refinery, which is the liver. Because it is physically connected via this express lane, it is the absolute fastest source to tap when the system needs energy. Your body is smart. It takes the path of least resistance. Because of that high-speed connection, we arrive at this profoundly liberating data point, 10%. Let me explain why this number should absolutely make your day. You do not need to lose 50 pounds of external belly fat, that heavily guarded cold storage, to completely transform your health. You don't have to empty the whole vault to see results. By clearing out just 10% of this internal visceral inventory, you drastically shut down that inflammatory smoke and stop those toxic fuel leaks from hitting your liver. Your system actually handles the deep, most dangerous cleanup early in the script. Just 10% makes a monumental impact on your internal logistics.
Which brings us to our final core concept, Section 3, the management team.
Of course, knowing the warehouse is there is only half the battle. Now we need to know who actually runs the place and the specific biochemical signals required to authorize this high-velocity warehouse to open its doors and empty its cargo. First up, we have to call emergency dispatch, which is adrenaline. Remember how we said visceral fat is hyperactive? Well, it has an incredibly high density of receptors that respond directly to adrenaline. It's literally sitting there waiting for the alarm. Second, we bring out the shipping manager, a hormone called glucagon. Glucagon's job is to initiate the actual movement of cargo on the warehouse floor. But here is the catch. The doorman, Insulin, is incredibly strict. The shipping manager, Glucagon, cannot step onto the floor and do its job unless the doorman is completely off duty. If insulin is high, the doors stay locked. If insulin is down, the shipping manager gets to work clearing out the depot.
This is honestly the most empowering takeaway of this entire explainer. Your body is already wired to heal itself because this deep internal warehouse has plumbed right into the express lane, and because it is highly sensitive to adrenaline, your body actively wants to clear it out first. The very moment you create the right metabolic signal, getting insulin down and getting adrenaline and glucagon up, the doors swing wide open and that dangerous cargo begins to move completely out of your system.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? How do we write the exact exercise and timing scripts to automate this cleanup operation? We know we aren't going to just starve the system. We want to optimize the throughput. We want to master the logistics. How do we get the doorman off duty and page emergency dispatch at exactly the right time? Think about how incredibly powerful it will be to take full control of these specific signals. Keep that question burning in your mind as you look at your own daily routines, and we'll dive into writing that exact action script next time. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, stay curious.